I'm Karl Erickson with Tier 1 Group. I'm here with Steve from Armasight. My background in military, I've used night vision for decades, literally. And now that I'm working for T1G, we use a lot of night vision, different things. We always have the military rolling through with the best. And we've worked a lot with Armasight. Armasight has come down and we've filmed the Maximum Warrior competition, a few other events. We use Armasight products a lot. Tier 1 Group likes working with these guys. I personally enjoy using the Armasight products. I think when it comes to bringing new technology in quickly, I think I'd rather work with Armasight than anybody else. So I'm really excited about seeing what they have. I swear by the Zeus Pro, the new, some of their other new smaller optics. I'm using them, doing a lot of training with them. So I'm here now with Steve. We want to see, Steve, just let us know what you got here.
Sure, man. Well, really appreciate you coming down to the SHOT Show booth here at 2016. Right now we have here today really releasing our Bluetooth line for our thermal apps. Our thermal scopes. Basically with our Bluetooth app, you're going to be able to kind of locate the unit and do a lot of features with it. The first feature you're going to get with it is what direction you're going to be able to point it on the map. So as you can see here, it's connected to one of our units and it's automatically trying to figure out which way it's going to be pointing. And that has a lot of good capabilities, not only for just the average hunter, but for the new shooter. You're giving people the ability to, have something to watch over their back without actually looking at the shooter directly. And we're also doing a couple other things. We have a built-in accelerometer within the unit, just like your iPhone or Android, so it knows what direction it's facing in. This allows it to give it the data of which direction it's facing, and also it gives a couple other cool things. It gives it a shot counter, so it counts how many shots you've taken. It also gives it the ability to not only count how many shots, but check how many rounds you have left in your mag, or if you need to reload anytime soon, at least you'll be aware of it right away. Another cool thing we're doing with our app is we partner with Kestrel to do ballistic calculations. So if I open up the app over here, you can see it's feeding all this data into our app as if you're looking at the Kestrel unit. And this allows the user to not only have to be looking at the Kestrel, but you can give it to someone else, look at the app, and it also displays on the heads-up display of the unit while you're looking through the scope, so you never actually have to leave the site.
How we used to run it before is you'd have your shooter, he'd be down behind the gun, and while I could see what was going on, my spotter, he had no idea. He couldn't really see what I was looking at unless he was also behind another night vision site. And then he's having to pull up his stuff on his separate, whether it was a PDA or whether it was an iPhone, whatever he was running his ballistic computer on. And then he's having to individually plug in all his wind data, direction, cant, all that stuff. Now, all that now is being fed straight into this wirelessly, and that's just awesome.
And another thing that you said about spotting is that a lot of the spotters also like to see what you're seeing right away.
Exactly.
So another thing that we have is here, we have something that we call an IRIS, and an IRIS W, specifically this one. It's a wireless version. Basically gives it a mobile display at whatever you're looking at between the scope and the other user. This also not only gives it to the spotter, but it allows people or soldiers or police officers not get into the line of fire, but also recheck their surroundings, either popping it around behind the door or getting it over a barrier. And another application for it is also giving it to a new shooter. You're able to, if you're trying to teach someone to use a thermal with, you can actually say, hey man, hold it up just a little bit higher or to the left so you can take a better shot with it. So it gives you a lot more capability, not only on the military and law enforcement side, but also on the commercial hunter side as well.
And just from an instructor standpoint, me the instructor, it'd be pitch dark out on the range when we're doing training. Now me the instructor, look how small this puppy is. I'm able to put that up to my eye, and now me the instructor, I'm seeing what that student is actually seeing through his gun. And now I can see what mistakes he's making, whether he's throwing it off with his breathing, whether trigger control, maybe he's jerking the shot, or maybe when it does break, he wonders why he missed, but I can blatantly see, hey, you weren't correctly holding for wind, or maybe you weren't correctly holding for elevation. Instead of me now saying, well, hey, what did you do wrong? Because I really couldn't see in the dark. But now, me, the instructor, I'm able to see what the student's actually doing. That, just from a training standpoint, that's awesome. That really is.
And we also have a wired version of it because we also know that a lot of military guys don't want to mess with the wireless. They want to have any mishaps with it. So we do offer it in a wireless and wired version.
Now wireless is great. Wireless sounds like that's the way it should go. The military is behind the power curve, but the military, they've got their minds properly set, because if let's say you're doing jamming to keep IEDs from going off around you, you don't want a vehicle with a separate jamming channel coming by and then jamming so you can't use your own optics on your guns just because somebody else is driving by. So there's a reason why they're using wired for some things. But that said, I think having the whole Bluetooth capability, I'm not going to say no to it. I think this is a great capability. To be able to bring it all into one package, this is really awesome.
And not only does it fit with the larger thermal scopes, but we also have little thermal monoculars just like the Q14. And this guy has all the same capability as the Bluetooth or the eyepiece. And not only does the eyepiece only work with our thermal units, but also works with our digital night vision as well. So pretty much any line of units that we come out with that has this port on the side of it, you're able to use this eye device and give it to somebody else, or a buddy you're hunting with, or even an instructor like yourself.
Great capability.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you having here.
Man, awesome. Thanks, Steve. Money. Armasight here at SHOT Show.